there's a 90% chance of a sexually active teen who does not use some sort of contraceptive to get pregnant within a year. Safe sex is important for numerous reasons, including 1 out of every 5 Americans is likely to contract an STI of some sort over the course of their lifetime. The responsibility of becoming pregnant takes a huge toll on one's life, whether they give it up for adoption, have an abortion, or go through the birth. It's extremely stressful for the mother and for the father. Also, with the abundance of birth control options that we have available to us now, not protecting oneself makes them extremely naive if they actually believe that they are the exception to the rule, because no one's an exception. I actually had a cousin who was on the shot for a few months. She missed it, I think, once, and she became pregnant. She's the last person you would ever think that would become pregnant. She didn't think this could ever happen to her, and her life completely changed. Although she's happy now, what she had planned to do before, it'll never happen. Her and her boyfriend at the time, who was the baby's father, had planned to actually move to Australia. They had this full ride thing to become chefs over there, and they were unable to do that. So STDs, although some are curable, if not detected, their effects can last a lifetime. Actually, 15% of infertile women become so due to pelvic inflammatory disease caused by an undetected STD. HPV accounts for half of the STIs in the United States. It and chlamydia are among the most widespread, chlamydia being the most widespread. Chlamydia is actually 3 times more likely to occur in a woman than it is in a man. Syphilis is actually 6 times more likely to occur in a man than it is a woman. The human papillomavirus actually leads to cervical cancer in women, and men are usually just the carrier, so it doesn't affect them, but they pass it on to women. So I believe that everyone should be STD checked. They should get checked as often as they can. Every time they're done with like a new partner, they should go get checked just to be safe. It's not only for them, it's for the rest of like the population. Who knows? What if you give your partner HPV and she somehow gets cervical cancer? You don't want that on your conscience. It's really bad. Also, 1 in 5 Americans have genital herpes. 90% of them actually don't know it. Most people think that just because they don't have an outbreak, they don't see bumps on themselves, they don't have genital herpes. That's not the case. Just because you have herpes doesn't mean you're gonna be bumpy. So pretty much you should just get checked no matter what. I know sometimes some men think it's embarrassing to go get checked for STDs. If you go to Planned Parenthood, it's actually free. Just go in, tell them you need an STD check, and they will check you. Teenagers account for 82% of the unplanned pregnancies in America. 14% of those end in miscarriages, 27% end in abortions, and 59% end in live births. We have an abundance of options today for birth control, so protecting your sexuality is actually easier today than it ever has been in the history of the United States. Yet, STDs are rising, which is incredible to me. Gardasil and Cervarix are 2 options against the human papillomavirus, which I already told you leads to cervical cancer. And you can prevent pregnancy with the pill, the patch, the shot. NuvaRing is a T-shaped contraption that is inserted inside your vagina, and it prevents against pregnancy for 5 years. So that's an option if maybe you've had a child and you don't want to get pregnant for a few years. You're good with your kid right now. You can have that. You can have it taken out if you change your mind and you want to have a kid later. The only thing that really prevents against STDs, unfortunately, is condoms. It's 99.9% effective. So even if you're on the pill, if you don't know and trust the person you're with, you should be using a condom because you need to protect yourself. It's not about whether you love this person or not. It's just about protecting yourself. Also, if contraceptive fails, there's the morning after pill. It's 99% accurate or effective if taken within the first 72 hours of failed contraceptive. And that only prevents against pregnancy. It doesn't prevent against STDs. So you should also get checked for STDs a few weeks later. With STDs and pregnancies becoming common, and protecting oneself against both of these should be at the top of one's priority list. In doing so, you're protecting your future, your goals, just everything you have to look forward to. Thank you.